this ecom brand we just did a month ago. We built their email list 15,000. It seems easy. Oh yeah, you just tell the bot what to do, but it really isn't. And then all of a sudden, hey, your bot isn't following up. Dude was like really mad. And what happened was High Level changed some stuff, and that feature is huge. Man, this would be a business in its own.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another interview. I'm super excited for this one. Jeff Vanasdal from Indianapolis is joining us. And when I met Jeff at the very first High Level like mastermind, or like 100 people there, I was just struck by the brain he has and how he's taken a unique approach to marketing that I haven't seen in a lot of other places, really any other places. Before we get into today's episode, I'm super excited to share with you a little bit about one of our sponsors on the podcast today, Riverside. If you are a content creator or a podcaster and you're tired of your recordings with guests who sound like they're speaking with you through a tin can, then Riverside is for you. We've all been there. You're ready to do the interview. You've got your questions ready. Your guest is all set to go, and then your internet connection is unstable, message ruins the entire recording. With Riverside, you can get rid of those internet issues and choppy audio and have clean sounding recordings effortlessly. You see, the interesting thing about Riverside is that they record each part of the episode locally on that person's device, and then they upload it to the cloud, so you make sure not to miss anything, even if it's the other person's fault. And by the way, this episode was actually recorded on Riverside, so you can see the quality firsthand. But that's not all. Riverside's amazingly user-friendly interface is super easy to use, which allows you to spend less time troubleshooting technical difficulties and editing your podcast, and instead spend more time speaking with amazing guests and getting recognized for your valuable content. It can be used for podcasts, video interviews, video marketing, panel discussions, talking head presentations, and live broadcasting. And not only does it just record all of those things, it has a ton of other built-in features that make it a no-brainer for podcasting and video. Things like AI transcriptions, editing a video by removing text, AI clips, captions, and an awesome short-form video editor built right in. And they even recently came out with a feature that auto edits the long silences out of your podcast to the perfect length. It really is your all-in-one online video and podcast studio. And if you need more convincing, Gary Vee, Guy Raz, and Ali Abdal all use Riverside for their content and podcasts. But the very best part is that I've teamed up with them to get you guys 50% off any plan. And to get that discount, all you have to do is click the link below and enter the code It's Keaton at checkout. Thanks so much, Riverside, for sponsoring this episode. And with that said, let's get started. And I've been meaning to get someone on the podcast that can really talk about the current state of affairs when it comes to selling chatbots, fulfilling chatbots, and everything that goes along with that, because it's new, and being early is important, but it's also frustrating when you don't really know what you're doing, and nobody knows what they're doing when they're starting out. So I can't think of anyone better than Jeff to help us out in terms of how to sell these and how to fulfill them. So we'll get to that. But first I want to talk about Jeff's story and kind of where he started. So Jeff, welcome on. First of all, can you tell us how you got into marketing, and what have the last, what's it been, like 6-7 years that you've been in marketing? What have they looked like for you?
Oh yeah. Well, first, thanks for having me on, man. That's awesome. Yeah, how I jumped into marketing is kind of weird. I don't even think I told you this. I started doing work for magazines back when I was like 17 or 18.
Okay.
My goal was to become pro racer before I was 20, 21. And I didn't become pro racer. I became a pro, I guess, at writing articles and stuff. Writing, like I got hired by a magazine, which was like a dream job for any young guy coming up.
Was this like NASCAR racing, or what kind of racing?
ATVs.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I've been riding since I was 8. My dad got me into it.
Mm.
And fell into that. And then I got hired on by a couple other magazines. And then one of the other editors at an event, he's like, hey man, K&M's looking for a social media guy. K&M's sort of like Honda or Yamaha, like they're huge. And that they were looking for a social media manager. And I've always been in social media since, remember MySpace?
Yeah.
I taught myself how to code when you could do like the custom MySpace layouts, like basic HTML. So I always dabbled in that. But they they were looking for a social media guy. So that night I stayed up. When I heard about the job opening at Can-Am, I stayed up all night and I made my resume look exactly like the Can-Am website, but with all pictures of me on Can-Ams. Sent it in, and sure enough, they hired me, which was another dream job. So I got to travel all over the world and driving all the commercials, and then I managed all their social media with it. They had like 4 million followers in total. It was awesome. And then COVID hit, uh, and of course, everything changed. I just, yeah, they just called one day and just let me go.
I feel like COVID hit people differently, but I feel like Can-Am would have been the one that, like, it's one of those things where people are like home, they can't do anything with anyone except their family, so they buy a Can-Am. Why'd they let you go?
Well,
Was it?
that was like right before, like they thought the industry was going to go under. It was like right at the
Okay.
beginning, and it was quite the opposite. Like everything sold out, like RVs, dirt bikes, boats. But it was actually a blessing in disguise, because um, I always wanted to do my own thing, like have my
Mhm.
own business. I always dabbled in web design and social media and stuff like that. I always had like some kind of side hustle going on, and I was always afraid to jump, burn my boats and do my own thing. And that's all my boats burned, so I had to do something. And yeah, I got a call, yeah, and they just told me I had to let me go. So I was out of a job for like 3 months, and then one day I was on my back porch sitting with my wife. I was on my phone just scrolling, just scrolling through Instagram. I see a story, and Kevin Harrington from Shark Tank.
Yeah, yeah.
He was having an event, sort of like a miniature Shark Tank, with another guy I knew, that I went to his event. He had like a free event like the year prior.
Mhm.
I remember at the end of that event, it was like for a mastermind. He said he did the pitch, and it was like 70K to be in the master. I'm like, dude, that is more than I make in a year. There's no way. And I was like, dude, I don't care if I'm the guy that just brings the coffee in at these events. I just want to be around other like entrepreneurs, like-minded people. And he's like, hey man, you figure it out, figure it out. Fast forward to when I saw that story with Kevin Harrington. His name's Nick Long. They were having the event together. Um, I saw it. I was like, huh, I could probably do something with it. Clicked on uh, the link, and it went to a ClickFunnels page and had the application come to the event. It was like $10,000 to come to the event. I'm like, again, I'm dead broke, dude. I got no money,
Mhm.
and I just went there. I'm like, I could probably do something with this. So I wrote down all the questions they had in the application, and I made a chatbot. At the time, it was in ManyChat, and I made a fake Instagram account, a real Instagram account, but it had all their logos on it and stuff.
Okay.
I sent the link to Nick, and he calls me. He's like, dude, this is awesome. Like, how do I start working with you? I don't know why, but it came out of my mouth. I'm like, I'll tell you what, I'll be out there tomorrow. I live in Indiana, and this event's in California.
Mhm.
And my wife looked at me, and she's like, are you getting paid for this? And I was like, no, I don't know. Uh, so, and only to make things worse, only had like enough money to book a one-way ticket. And she was thought I was crazy and didn't know why I was doing it. So yeah, next morning, I ate breakfast with Nick at his office in Orange County, California, and that's kind of how things got kicked off. And I can go into more details, but
Yeah. So what? Hey guys, just jumping in here to give you a quick word on our sponsor, High Level, before we get back to the interview. If you don't know already, High Level is the top sales and marketing solution for any business, but particularly agency owners or anybody that needs a software product to resell to their existing customer base. It has everything you need to capture, nurture, and close leads for marketing clients. And the best part is High Level believes in not taxing the agency agencies on its platform so you can get unlimited clients for one low flat monthly fee. The best features include a CRM, funnel, website and email builders, course hosting platform, robust marketing automation builder, a consolidated chat stream with WhatsApp, email, SMS, Instagram DMs, and Facebook DMs, reputation management, social media posting, tracking and analytics, and so much more. And as if that wasn't enough, High Level is fully white labeled, meaning that you can take the platform and put your own brand on the desktop and mobile app and resell it to your industry for whatever price you want. Essentially, what High Level has done is brought the bar for starting a software company way lower so normal people like you and I can help our clients with an amazingly robust software without paying hundreds of thousands of dollars in development costs. I am not kidding when I say hands down, High Level is my favorite software of all time. It has been integral to my success with my agency. It helped me increase my clients' results and retention, and I use it every single day for my own business. And if you sign up for High Level today, not only will you get a 30-day free trial, which is not available on their website, but you'll get all of the bonuses listed at itskeaton.com/mastermind, which gets you support, templates, and courses to kickstart your High Level journey and get those first few clients or scale to your next few clients. If you're already a High Level customer, you can also get all of those bonuses by upgrading to the next highest plan underneath my link. Instructions for that are also at itskeaton.com/mastermind. First of all, I love, for anyone listening, just don't say, I've built it for you. Can I send it to you? Just build it and send it. Because anybody who knows anything knows that you haven't built it if you haven't sent it right up front.
Yeah.
And the only people that get my attention in the DMs are the ones who are like, I already did this for you. Here it is. So, okay, you're out at the mastermind event. Presumably your checking account is at zero or negative. And you need to make money to get home, right?
Yeah. This was like actually before the event.
Mm-hmm.
I just said I would be out there to
Oh, okay.
make
Interesting.
the bot. This was like the event was like a month later.
Uh-huh.
Flew out there, and their office is like awesome. It's on Fashion Island in Orange County, like super high end. I was hanging out in their office, and I was seeing how they're getting all the leads in. They're filling out that form with ClickFunnels.
Mm-hmm.
From there, it would land into a Google spreadsheet. From the Google spreadsheet, they would like literally text everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "You guys ever heard of High Level?" And they're like, "No, no." I was like, "All right, like let's sign you up for High Level." And that's actually was my first High Level client too,
Nice.
affiliate client, I guess. And then
How
from
did you know about all this? Like, it surprises me. I mean, I know you were posting for Can-Am, but had you used ManyChat and High Level and other things for Can-Am?
no, I used ManyChat for a while, just messed around with
Mm-hmm.
the bot. I thought they were always cool. And then High Level. Originally, I was gonna do um, High Level for like motocross or motorcycle
Yeah.
dealerships. I remember getting on a call with Sean and Robin at High Level, and they're walking me through how to set up High Level, which was cool. That was like kind of same time you had High
Yeah, yeah, it would have been. I only had Robin. That's cool. I mean, real claim to fame is having Sean on your onboarding call.
Level. Yeah. So yeah, that's how I knew about High Level. Didn't have any clients on it at all. I
Mm-hmm.
just knew about the tool. I thought it was awesome. Um, but yeah, I ended up getting like I think 3 clients when I was just hanging out in the office all day at their office. They'd have their mastermind members come in and do like a workshop, and I just chatted up with them, and Nick would tell them like, "Yeah, dude, this guy flew out here on a whim from Indiana," and kind of tell my story, and
Cool.
that probably helped a little bit too.
And you were just building chatbots for them. Like, you take the questions that would normally be answered by their support team, and then you plug that into ManyChat, and they could have that conversation in Instagram or Facebook somewhat automated.
Yeah, at the time it was just for that event. Uh, so instead of them having to go to a landing page and in ClickFunnels, the bot would ask all the questions, and this was
Uh,
before AI too.
yeah, yeah.
Like, you had to
This
click
is
the
before it
button.
was cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
But what about the other clients you got? Were they chatbot clients?
yeah. One was an econ brand that made like leather jackets, like a high end leather jacket brand. I can't remember the others, but um, that was like the kind of the most notable.
Cool. Um, and what did you sign them at? Like, was everyone paying you?
The leather jacket company, I told them 3K, and that was big. So I was like, all right, got this. So I had enough money to fly back home and
And that
hang.
was literally just to like answer questions in Messenger.
Yeah.
3K a month or 3K one time.
Yep. No, a month.
Okay, cool. And how much work was it after the first month?
I think I only stayed on for like 2 months.
Okay.
So it was a lot. It was like a big learning curve. It was like my
Okay.
first official mini chat client.
Hmm.
And we were trying to do everything like FAQs. It would have been a lot easier now because you can have AI answer all that, but to do it inside of mini chat, to have those chat bubbles and think of all the scenarios, it was a lot of work.
Yeah.
Now it's a lot easier.
Yeah. Yeah. ManyChat's not simple to build out. Like once you know it, it's satisfying, but it was never really like there's a lot of clicking. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
um, okay, so you signed these couple of clients, and then from there you just grew a chatbot agency, right?
Sorta. So another story with the same guy. I was trying to build
Hmm.
high level builds. Um, so fast forward to that event with Kevin Harrington.
Yeah.
All these mastermind members and other coaches, high end coaches, we all got an Airbnb, and we were all sitting at the table one night. Nick's telling that story. Yeah, Jeff flew in, like just telling the story to all the other coaches, and he tells this other guy, "Hey, you should use Jeff to build up your high level." And this guy goes, "All right, cool. How much you want? Like 25K?" I thought he was kidding. I was like, And Nick's like, dude, say something, say something. And he's like, you froze up like a fainting goat. And the other guy's like, how about I just pay you like, would you take 5,000? I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, sure. So that was my first, I guess, official high level client. And I was like, Nick's like, you just lost 20K in like 5 seconds because you Um, and then fast forward another month. This was all happening within like 3 months.
Yeah.
Fast forward another month. Nick calls me randomly, and he's like, "Hey man, can you get on Zoom?" I spent like 3 or 4 hours on Zoom with him, and sure enough, I built out his funnels. And the next week, I was in Austin, Texas, for his live event. His name was Danny, and ended up selling that high level build. It was my second high level build. I sold that one for 30K.
Nice.
I'm like, dang, I'm on to something here.
Yeah. And you're just like it's basically just a sub account, right? They're not even doing SaaS mode at this point.
They didn't even have SaaS mode then.
Yeah.
But what I was doing was I was just signing them up on their own high level, and I
Hmm.
was using my affiliate link to do that. So I was just naturally picking up affiliates
Yeah.
as I'm working on stuff.
But you weren't like you for them you were just building out basically a single sub account, maybe two if they needed to separate things.
Yeah, usually this one. Yep.
Yeah. Interesting. So then where that's what 2021.
Yeah, I think so. 2021.
And how did you what happened between then and now? You just kept selling bigger and bigger high level builds,
Uh,
or how did you get the recurring revenue, and what's that look like today?
I started. It was like a phone call from Matt Pacino, and
Mm,
uh, I think I was using HL Pro Tools or something. And I was showing him what I was doing. I actually showed him that funnel I built for Danny in Miro, and Matt was like, "Wow, like you think you could teach Miro to my team, like how to set up these presentations, use Miro?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "You're just random, but have you ever thought about like speaking at an event?" I was like, "No, but that'd be awesome."
hmm
asked me to speak at one of his events, I guess SaaS Insiders events in Huntington Beach,
Nice.
and spoke there. And that's kind of how I got in with some of the OGs and with high level, and it's kind of took off from there. And then I was doing some of the stuff with HL Pro Tools, doing some of their custom builds.
But it's always been kind of like these one-off bigger projects, custom builds for anyone that needs high level or ManyChat or whatever else.
Yeah, mostly just high level builds, and then I was still dabbling with the mini chat stuff on the side. And then ZapperChat came on the scene. Uh, did you ever use ZapperChat when it was like had like Zapier involved and stuff?
No.
I was doing all the high level builds, and I tried to set it up. I was like, I tried for like a week or two. I'm like, I can't figure this out. It's driving me nuts. So I stopped that, and then when they rolled out like the full AI inside of high level, like the version they have now,
Mm-hmm.
I jumped 100% in. I'm like, this is everything I've ever wanted ManyChat to do, and more. And then that's when I started just building out a ton of chatbots and
Very
coach
cool.
other agencies how to build chatbots.
What was your biggest, sorry, backtracking a little bit, what was your biggest ever month doing builds, like revenue wise?
Um, Man, that's a good question. Maybe 30, 30K.
Okay.
Uh,
Just that's like a single build for 30K, and then that takes you a month, and then you do it again the next month.
yeah, 30K was like, that's my highest one I've ever sold. Uh,
Yeah.
and then because I've never ran an ad for my business.
Yeah.
It's always been referrals.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, it was just me. I didn't have a team or anything. Now I got a team of five.
Mm-hmm.
Way easier to scale, and it's not so much. I can leverage my time a bit more.
Yeah.
So yeah, now it has been agency fulfillment for other agencies, and then I've always had really good luck building email and SMS list
Okay.
for companies, um, and that's kind of how I want to focus on growing email and SMS for agencies, or not agencies, but just ecom brands mainly.
Cool. But also bots for them, right?
Yeah, yep, ecom brands for bots. So it's mainly FAQ
Mm-hmm.
bot, and also growing the email and SMS list. So I usually start with a giveaway. And one tip I have too, if you get into the AI chatbot stuff, we were talking about this earlier, is like just keep it like simple. Don't try to do everything, uh, because it's very overwhelming and it's just very difficult to scale. So I just started doing email and SMS list building, and then the FAQ bots, and then like for example, this ecom brand we just did. It was like a month ago. We built their email list. We grew it by 15,000, and then 8,000 new SMS subscribers.
Nice. Just from the giveaway.
Yeah, yep. And then I think he made 70K off of that in 2 months.
So that's like you post, hey, we're giving away this product or this product plus a bunch of other stuff on their Instagram, and you have to tag 3 friends and put it on your story.
Well, that's the old school way. Uh,
Okay.
but now, yeah, it was a giveaway. It's called Recycled Firefighter. They make uh, products out of recycled firefighter hose. He was getting 22-cent opt-ins through messenger ads. If the people had a question about, hey, is so and so wallet? They make wallets too. The bot can answer any FAQs. To transition a little bit from that to like local brands, as you were asking about earlier,
Yeah.
is I did a bot on ManyChat. This was like, I guess 2022 for a aesthetic brand, and she did like Botox and stuff. We did a $500 gift card giveaway on her Instagram, and we ended up booking her 26 appointments and like grew her email list by like 600.
Wow.
Made an extra 20K that week. That was all organic. There was no ads.
That when you do that kind of thing, how do you capture the email list? or sorry, how do you capture the emails in the SMS? And do you also get them to tag three friends and share it? Or like, is there a list of like 7 things they have to do to enter?
On hers, it was, I think it was tag three friends. It would say follow us, tag three friends, and then we'll shoot you a DM to finish entering. And then from there, we would ask, hey, looks like you're interested in entering a giveaway. Let's get started. What's your email? Would you
Mm,
like to join our SMS club for more exclusive giveaways like this and discounts and offers? And if they say yes, then that's when we ask for the phone number. And then you always want to give them a CT at the end, call to action, then to incentivize them to take action now. So what we did was we said, hey, if you book an appointment now, we'll give you a $50 skincare kit for free. And that's how we got people to book immediately.
very smart. It's just like hit them with one thing after the other after the other. Like, hey, we're giving you something free. Now just DM us. Now we'll give you something else free.
Yeah.
Um, and then that turns into revenue down the line.
Yeah.
So is it the majority of your business today recurring, or is it one-off builds still?
Yeah, now that I'm transitioning more to like more of a SaaS play, especially
Mm-hmm.
with a product called Sales Prezi, it's more monthly recurring. That's my SaaS. And then um, I do like retainer basis for like ecom brands. My recommendation to any agency listening, I wouldn't do a one-off build. Bots are not perfect, and you always have to feed it new scenarios and FAQs and stuff. I sold one bot. This was like in February, no, January. I sold a bot, built it, and I sold it for 2K, one-off build, and the bot was working fine. And then all of a sudden, February, I get a message on Slack, hey, your bot isn't following up. This guy, like, the dude was like really mad. And I'm like, whoa, hang on a second. Let me check it out. And what happened was high level changed some stuff around their API, which caused the AI follow up to not work correctly.
Mm.
Uh, and I looked into it and I was like, oh, okay, I could just, it was like a 10-minute fix. Well, he ended up, he paid with Amex and ended up pulling the funds out of my account the next day.
Wow.
Yep. So no more one-off builds because like you always want to do monthly recurring anyways, just to have that established income.
Yeah.
But it's like hiring a VA. You're gonna have to train them on things. They're not gonna be perfect the first day out, or even the
The
first
bots.
month out. Yeah.
Okay. So are you doing a setup fee, or are you just doing like, hey, 300 a month, or what do you charge?
I am charging 1,500 at the time of this recording, 1,500 for like ecom brands. That's what my main focus is right now.
Yeah. And that's for the
Um,
FAQ bot and what
like a
else?
giveaway, usually what I start with. Yep.
Okay.
And I don't do setup fee. I don't know. I feel like sometimes it's kind of gimmicky as far as
Okay.
marketing goes. Setup fee,
Yeah.
you could. I know a lot of companies I've worked with, agencies. There was one agency I was working with. They charge like 7K setup fee up front, and then like 2K a month. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but it's up to you. I may add a setup fee. I don't know.
Yeah. But the
Still,
1,500, do you do a giveaway every month then, or is it just
uh,
one time giveaway and the 1,500 a month covers the FAQ bot?
yeah, you. So that was the issue I ran into with the aesthetic um, girl. She just didn't want to do a giveaway every month, and at the
Yeah.
time I was using ManyChat, so there was no FAQ bot because that would be very very difficult to set up in ManyChat for all the use cases.
Yeah.
Now that AI is out, and you can upload FAQs directly to the bot. It makes more sense to do the monthly recurring and have that actually option to, hey, yeah, it's 1,500. It can answer any FAQs. It can also help sell, some of the products too. Like for
Nice.
example, a bot I built for Sales Prezi. If you go on the website and you say, ask it how much money is it, and I say like, yeah, it's not. The bot says $97 a month, and if you say, wow, that's expensive, the bot will like rebuttal and be like, oh yeah, maybe it does sound expensive, but if you think about it, like if you land one client at $350 a month, you're getting 3x your
Yeah.
what you just spent.
So, and sales prezi we'll get into, if anybody's curious about it, we'll get into what it does and why it matters in this space. But I want to go a bit deeper into the bot business. So you're selling, I assume these ecom brands aren't using high level, or are they?
Not really, but
Okay.
I think there's a big play there,
Yeah.
especially
What are you plugging the bot into then, and how are you getting it on the site and elsewhere?
put it in my high level account that I have like a white label high level. But now with the Shopify integrations, um, like native inside of high level, you can connect Shopify, and you can upsell it to like the one I just sold last week. It was a 2K deal, and it was to build the FAQ bot. Also, like when they drop new products, like they work with a lot of celebrities, and they do like big drops. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do hey, we got a new drop coming up next week. Get on the pre-order sheet, and the bot can like collect name, email, and phone number, add a tag to like pre-order hat drop, and then we're using high level now to send out all the emails and SMS. As
Nice.
before, like you'd have to rely on Klaviyo
Hmm.
a lot for the Shopify brands. Well, now you can basically do everything in high level.
So it's the high level live chat.
Yeah, you can put high level live chat on the Shopify store. That's another thing.
Nice.
But a lot of these brands are big on the Instagram, and they
Mm.
work with big influencers. So then you can do a collaborative post, which if you don't know what that is, anyone listening, it's like kind of like doing a tagging someone else in the post.
Yeah, yeah.
But if they select collaborative posts, it will actually post on their feed as well. So it goes out to their audience. But if someone comments, like say comment giveaway to get entered to win, it will still trigger the all the automations to collect their.
So for somebody getting into the agency world, they're seeing AI as kind of this new wave. They don't have to offer Facebook ads. They can kind of do some of this more back end stuff, chatbots, AI. What are the biggest misconceptions you feel like are being sold around this that just aren't true? And then how complicated is this skill to learn, really, of building bots and making sure they function properly?
Yeah, I don't want to discourage anyone, but it seems easy surface level. It seems like, oh yeah, you just tell the bot what to do in a sentence, but it really isn't, and that's why I coach these agencies to keep it like simple. Find your thing, like we do with List Builder, just building email and SMS lists with the bots. Uh, and especially if you're an agency trying to sell these bots, it's very important to not get out of scope and actually prep the client on like what you're going to provide and what you're not. Because if they get in there, there's a lot of unforeseen stuff like
Hmm.
that you don't see when you're setting up the bot. Um, and you have to take an account like for that. And most of the time when you're setting up these bots, you could set up a bot fairly quickly and maybe in a couple hours. What takes
Yeah.
long is the testing, uh,
Hmm.
continually testing. Um, yeah, that's what I found just working with. We've probably done like maybe 20 niches with the bots, like all different kinds of niches. So like that's the other thing about scaling is you're starting from ground up every single time. So if you are going to do these bots, find your niche and just build a snapshot, and that way you can build them out quick versus trying to recreate the wheel every single time.
I see. You mentioned like issues or scope creep that ends up happening after people sign the deal. Like, is that, oh, we want it to do sales and support, but before we said it was just support, or we want it on the website and replying in our email or what are the common things that people are running into?
Both. Yeah. It's like they didn't think of about, oh, yeah, like after hours, we want an after hours bot.
Hmm.
Or we we want to we want the staff to be able to answer the questions from 9 to 5, but we want to turn the bot on from 6 p.m. to 9 a.m. And then the channels thing, that's the other one, is like you sell the bot, then they realize, oh, we want it on Facebook, Instagram, the web chat widget, the contact forms on the website, uh, and all those are fairly similar. But a good example of this is on Facebook, you don't have to ask for their name. Like, say if it's just a FAQ bot,
Yeah.
you have to ask for the name because the system already knows the name because the name is attached to the user. And Instagram, it's different because their name isn't usually their name. It's like their username. So
Yeah.
mine could be like Jeff at List Builder,
Yeah.
and then you don't want the bot to be like, "Hey, Jeff at List Builder" or Jeff three
Yeah.
one nine seven, and you have to take into account. So what you do is you branch it out and load in a particular prompt for each channel.
Hmm.
So even though you have one bot, you can have five different prompts depending on what channel you're putting it on or scenarios.
When it comes to selling them, are business owners pretty happy? Like, oh, this is going to save my team and I so much time? And do they see it as like replacing the front desk in a lot of ways, or how does the nitty gritty of that transition to a human end up working? Obviously, it's different for every client, but what's like a standard build look like typically?
What I usually tell clients is like monitor at first. Like I would say, I don't know if it's going to totally replace like the front desk person. I
Yeah,
still think you need to go in and just monitor it too, not only just to make sure it's working right, but like say someone asked a question, the bot maybe wasn't even trained on that particular question. Well, you still need to go in and add the FAQ section. Like some of these bot builders, like ZapChat, have an interface where you can add in FAQs. I think the uh, high level condition or conversation AI has that thumbs up, thumbs down feature where you can
yeah.
uh, click it. So I don't know if it's going to. I mean, I think eventually it could replace a lot of stuff. Has a little bit of ways to go, but it definitely helps to have it. And a lot of times when people like when the bot replies back, good example of this was that recycle firefighter bot we did. A lot of people would chat in, be super stoked to enter the giveaway, and they'd be like, "Oh, my whole family's been firefighters for 50 years, and my brother and the bot would be like, "Oh, thank you so much for your service." They're like the bot's like super empathetic about
Yeah.
like, and it actually answers sometimes better than a human would.
That's got to be an issue with positioning, understanding exactly what you're supposed to be, what you're actually selling. Because I think some people likely go into this and say, hey, we're going to replace your whole front desk.
Yeah.
What would you say, like when you're talking to a client, hey, this is just going to help? It's going to reduce the load on your front desk. It's going to take care of 80% of chats, 60% of chats. How does that conversation usually go?
Depends on the use case. So like if it's for booking appointments, which is a pretty cool deal now with these bot builders, it just takes load off. You don't have to do the back and forth. Hey, what time works for you? It actually looks on the calendar and books for you.
Like if you estimate for the client how much it's going to take off their plate or the key things that it is going to take off their plate, what do you typically say there?
I don't know, maybe 80%. I don't know. That question really hasn't really come up too much, but I would say
Yeah.
maybe 80%.
You're pitching to a local business and they're like, "Oh, this is awesome. This is going to be great." But then there's like that excitement in their head and then they get the bot and it's like, "Oh, it's not working exactly as I thought." Is there a good expectation you can set in the sales process so that they don't feel that disappointed? I guess is what I'm asking.
Yeah, totally. You want to preface it like, hey, this is this bot from day one. It's not going to be perfect. and it's going to help answer maybe you could say like 70%, 80% of the questions. But with time, it's going to keep like getting better and better and better as you feed it more knowledge and FAQs. Uh, so just like if you hire like a assistant or VA,
Mhm.
they're going to keep getting better and better as you train them. Uh, I think the cool thing about AI is it's cheaper than hiring an assistant, and it works 24/7. I think those are the the key points that I think people are attracted to.
Cool. Are you using ZappyChat for, like, let's say you're selling to a local business? Would you be using ZappyChat for that build, or high level conversational AI, or a different third party?
Yeah, right now I'm using ZappyChat. I think ZappyChat's amazing. What really brought me over from ManyChat to ZappyChat is the goals feature,
Okay.
where say you're trying to qualify a lead, and say if it's for I don't know a mortgage company, or you can ask like, hey, what's your credit score? Which when you're looking to move, what area, what type of house? If it's like a realtor, it'll actually save the custom user fields. So then you can take all the information, and when the sales rep comes in, they can look at like they have that all information that the bot collected right in front of their face versus having to scroll through a conversation to see how the person
Wow.
answered. And it's super smart. Like I did one for a realtor where the bot asked, "Hey, where are you looking to move, and what's your budget?" The guy answered, "I'm looking to move to London, and my budget's 400K," in one sentence. But there's two custom fields custom field number one is where you're looking to move. Custom field number two is budget. It can parse that data out. It'll like place it in the correct
Nice.
fields, which is amazing. It would be very difficult to do that in say ManyChat.
What's your take on Ross Christofoli's doing Consolidata, and he's just plugging in OpenAI assistants, saying that, OpenAI, the assistants are native to OpenAI, so they're going to be the best. And it's basically like one prompt, but you can upload FAQs and stuff. That approach versus something like ZappyChat or CloseBot, where you can assign different stuff to it, like different goals, priorities based on those goals, etc.
I think it depends what you're trying to do with the bot. I've never used this system, but I think it's $97 a month if I
Yeah.
recall. Right, so it's
Mm-hmm.
a little easier price point to come in, especially for someone that's getting started. But I don't know if it could save the custom user fields. So because I just never used that, I don't know. I can't really speak on.
Yeah. But that's a huge value add, is being able to save the fields.
Yeah, yeah.
Got it. And it can also, ZappyChat can like add tags and other stuff like that too, right?
Yeah, that's another thing too is the adding the tags. It's a goals feature. So Zapchat has two goals features: the tag, add tag, or it saves the custom user field.
Mm.
Uh, you can trigger different workflows. So a good example of this is build a bot for a gym. You ever heard of Boomerang Me?
Hmm.
So I built a bot. This is actually the one I showed Andrew at Zapchat. Um, Build a bot for a gym. Imagine the it's like a coupon code, like a coupon that someone says, "Hey, get 50% off, first month in the gym." Well, it collects the name, email, and phone number. Then it will then create a mobile wallet coupon pass with their name, email, and actually the date would be um, it you could set the date to expire in 2 weeks to incentivize them to come in. At the front desk in the gym, you can have them scan that coupon code. From that scan, then you can trigger a workflow like inside of high level. And
Mm.
then like say 3 hours later, you can send an email or SMS saying, "Hey, Jason, I was the first time in to Joe's Fitness." But that would be like a different scenario, like adding a tag. Uh, it can
Very
automatically
cool.
add a tag to trigger different workflows.
Yeah. The model of these bigger builds, like the 5 to 10K upfront and maybe 300 a month, do you think that fits for some niches, or would you recommend that everybody kind of go a little bit higher on the monthly fee and just stick with, 1,000 to 2,000 a month and no upfront?
I think it depends on the niche. Like I don't think all niches. That's the thing is like you're basically selling the same thing to different niches, but you can
Mhm.
get higher price points if you sell it to like say a mastermind coach or something because they have a high ticket offer. But it's the same amount of work if you're doing it for like say like a realtor.
Yeah.
So it depends what market you want to hit.
And how much customization? Let's say I'm in the med spa or the dental niche, and I'm selling custom AI chatbots to, you know, basically copy paste, but obviously there's going to be some customization. Is it just go in and fill out the custom values and that's it? Like whatever the offer is and whatever the company name is, or how much tweaking do you have to do?
I think that's a smart move. Doing it like if you're just doing it for med spas and uh, something works, you can
Mm-hmm.
build a snapshot and then use custom values. And inside your prompt, you can use custom values. So say like your name is Kelsey and you work at location name,
Yeah.
um, and have it a lot easier to set up. Just lay in that snapshot. That's the biggest thing I found about building the bots, and I feel like most agencies are kind of like generalists. They don't really have a niche per se,
Mm-hmm.
but it's going to be very difficult to scale because you're starting over every single time.
And then realistically, on the fulfillment side of things, I do a build. Let's talk about the very first time. I do a Zappy Chat build, set the goals, set up the custom fields, plug it into, I've got to duplicate that 5 times for 5 different channels and kind of tweak the prompt a little bit. And then every single day I'm going in for like a month and checking all the responses and tweaking it. Or how often do you go in and change things, and when can they expect to just pretty much be 100% hands off?
Yeah, that's a good question. It depends how much testing you do.
Okay.
I have like my team test like all day, every day, uh,
Hmm.
on say like those agency fulfillment clients. Sometimes it worked just fine. I think the biggest thing right now with the AI chatbots, no matter what platform you're using, you're at the mercy of the APIs. So
Yeah.
you have OpenAI, high level API, ZappyChat API, and Twilio if you're or LC phone. So if one of those things break, the bot's not gonna work. Um, and it'll keep getting better. It's just we're still in like the wild west of the bots. It's just still pretty new.
Yeah. Selfish question on my side that I'm maybe other people have run into this. I've tried to build a bot for my like purposes on just people hit me up for like one of two things. They're like one of three things. One, they want to sell me something, which I don't want the bot to respond to. Two, they didn't get their affiliate bonuses. And three, they're looking for some sort of coaching.
Hmm.
And I just haven't, granted, I haven't tried that hard, but every time I've tried to do like a Zapier, like we plugged in Zapier directly to OpenAI, that was like very, very beginning of everything. And then
Yeah.
I tried an OpenAI assistant, and it was just like, it was so far off what I needed it to do. And I didn't really understand what was going on. Would you say that's a symptom of not using a third party like ZappyChat, or is it like you really just have to babysit it for months? But you could do a single prompt on an OpenAI assistant and maybe get to the or just um, high level conversational AI and get to the point where you're happy with it as long as you're willing to watch every conversation for a couple months.
Yeah, I think it'd be a lot more difficult to if you're using Zapier and not using like a true platform like ZapChat or Closebot or
Okay.
Solidata. You're gonna have a lot of elements to check, and then um, the way I would do that, like say if someone was asking like, "Hey, I didn't get my affiliate, links
Yeah.
or my bonuses," you can build a goal inside of ZapChat and the custom user field would be, bot bonuses, and then the field description. The field description is basically a miniature prompt, and would be the user indicated they did not get their bot affiliates. Actually, I would do a tag feature, a tag goal, I mean, and then from that tag, it would trigger a workflow, and then it'd say that notify your team like, hey, so and so is saying that they don't have their, they didn't get their bonuses. Be sure to follow up. Here's their contact information.
So you just send it to a human.
Yeah, you could. Or if you have a link where your bonuses are, like say like a Google Drive or something, you
Yeah.
could prompt it to say, hey, if someone says they didn't get them, send them this link.
Last question I want to ask before we dive into sales Prezi is
Mhm.
high levels native conversational AI. What can it do? Like what use case is it perfect for? And that when does it start to fail?
I really haven't used it. Yeah, I'm
It's funny how that works, isn't it?
yeah, I mean, I got ZapChat working, so haven't really used it,
Yeah.
but I do know they're working really hard to get it going pretty well. I know some friends are looking into it as well. I do like this isn't really conversational AI too much. I can't really speak on conversational AI too at all because I haven't really used it.
Yeah.
Um, but kind of speaking inside of high level, the comments feature, I don't even know what they call it. It's in many chats called the comment growth tool.
Yeah. Yeah.
High level has that now, and that feature is huge. Like a
Yeah.
good man, this would be business in its own. Remember I said like just keep things like simple.
Yeah.
With realtors where they always have like new listings,
Yeah.
Instagram and Facebook. Well, you can use the comments feature, or say you could sell your SaaS to realtors and just use the comments feature, where it's like, hey, if you have a new listing, instead of saying, "Oh, click the link in my bio and check it out," you can go into high level, set up a
Yeah.
post, and just say comment info, and I'll send you the listing, and it'll actually send the link to the listing. And I think that just that product uh, would be a product in itself that anyone can sell.
Smart. Okay, so let's talk sales Prezi because the issue you mentioned of like the APIs and demoing these things on the sales side of things, it can be tough when you're trying to live demo somebody's tech. Like you're like, oh, did it come to your phone? Like now ask it something, and they're getting distracted because they're looking at their phone, and then there's just a few other problems that happen during the sales process, right? So talk to us about what are those problems, why is sales Prezi important, and then what does the sales process typically look like for selling a bot? Like how long's your sales call, and how do you use sales Prezi to help with that?
Yeah. So for my agency, this was even back when I was using MiniChat. I had this tool that I built to show clients what it looked like. Because if you can show them exact that same kind of strategy I did for that first story I told, like that was actually building the bot on Instagram and MiniChat and building the entire
Mm,
bot out for like a real thing, which is
yeah.
super time consuming. It probably took me like 8 hours to build that. But with Sales Prezi, I thought, well, most of these agencies are like generalists, so why not build these pre-made bot simulators that say if someone books a call, like a prospect books a call on your calendar to demo the bot, then they could just pull up a bot simulator to actually show how the bots work on all the platforms. Like that was one of the things I ran into is like, how do I show how the bot works on Facebook ad? It's almost impossible unless you're running an actual ad or find some other company that's running a Facebook Messenger ad, then go to that, then click on it, then
Yeah.
show them how it works.
Especially for some of these local business owners that like don't, they're like, what's a Facebook ad?
Oh yeah.
What? What?
So and the same thing goes for like missed call text back. Like
Yeah.
kind of hard to like describe. You could describe it, but if you could just show them, you could be like, well, call this number and then hang up. and then you'll get a text, but it's like you still have that awkward waiting. Like, and then the other thing too, I know a lot of agencies will demo it on like they build a bot to like sell the bot.
Hmm.
Well, the issue I had with that is like even when I sent it to my friends, and part of this was like preface everything. Like there's still a learning curve, but I sent it to them, and they say, yeah, it's working. And I could see inside high level, they just got the text. They never actually went through. These are like business
Yeah.
owners too. But if you are using the like a demo bot, preface on the front end, like even if say it's a warm lead, like I say I know my friend Andrew, I can put in his phone number and send the bot to him instead of sending him the link, and then he has to fill out the form to trigger the bot. And then the bot sends the like it initiates the demo. That was the first thing I saw was like putting in the phone number into the form to trigger the bot for him instead of sending the link. Then I saw that people weren't doing that. They weren't the completion rate was very low.
Hmm.
And then I went back to the drawing board and I said, all right, well, what if I told all my people who tested the bot, hey, I know it's in the middle of the day. Like, if you want to test this, I would really appreciate it. But like, it's going to take maybe 5 minutes. Like, I would really appreciate if you just go through the whole thing. Just set aside a little, like, few minutes to go through the whole thing, and then they would complete it. And that's the issue I ran into with the self selling. Is like, even though if it's only like 30 seconds between each message, you still have like 5 or 6 messages in between, and the people's attention span most of the time they're in the grocery store or they get distracted with the
Yeah.
dog or something, and it's
For those who don't know, the self-selling is that you fill out the form and then it's or like you on my end, I would plug in the client's website. It would scrape the website. It would build a bot in 5 minutes, and then the client can test it. Which on the surface sounds amazing, but Jeff, was you're saying you ran into it's just like slow at the end of the day. It's
yeah,
too
it's like
slow.
it's nothing on the bot builder side. It's the APIs. Like you're gonna be limited to that. And then even if you're testing it on Facebook, SMS, the other thing too, um, with AP the A2P stuff, you're
Yeah.
gonna have to get approved for the phone number, and that can be a pain. And
Yeah.
you have a
There you
video
go.
on how to do that. Like I don't know if you want to reference that, but that video is awesome. Anyone trying to get ATP approved, um, but it's just a lot of work to try to get the demo, and then if the bot fails, which I've seen happen, nothing on the bot builder side. It's just the APIs fail. It's like the last thing you want to happen when you're trying to sell the bot and it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Or I've had people just say they don't get it, like they don't understand what's going on, even though it says what it's doing. I've had that
Yeah.
happen before too. But that's another reason why I made sales spreadsheet is you don't have to rely on the API calls. You don't have to wait, have that. Hey, did you get the text message? I was at actually a Bentley dealership pitching, doing the self selling thing,
Hmm.
sit across from the desk from the guy, and we put his phone number in, and it was just like, all right, you'll get the text, and it's like a minute. They're like, I haven't got the text yet. It's like,
Awkward.
yeah. So that kind of that's like, dude, you know what? I'm just gonna build something that a tool that you can get on to schedule the call, the demo, get on the call, and also the other thing too, like you can't really talk through the self-selling one because they're on the other side of the phone. You're not face to face.
Yeah.
You're relying on them to get what it is. So yeah, solve that awkward waiting or the bot breaking, and also being able to show it in all the platforms like Facebook Messenger, Facebook ads, Instagram ads.
So spill it. Let's see. Share your screen and show us what it
All right,
looks like to pitch using SalesPrezi.
cool. So yeah, I made it all white labelable, if that's a word. You can white label it. So you
Yeah.
can see the logo up here. See how my cursor's changing right here? So imagine
Yeah.
we're on a sales call and I'd be like, yeah, today I'm going to show you how AI like can like revolutionize how you do like get deals or book appointments or answer any FAQs. Um, so what we're looking at here is live chat, where you just get on here. It looks like live chat on mobile, which I think like 80% of people are going to be on mobile anyways. You just click here and you can walk through like the different scenarios. So see how the bot's not responding back yet.
Mm.
They ask, what's the price of the facial? Well, I can have the bot send anytime. I just click here. And then I could say, I can read through this. I'm a terrible reader. So, and I read super slow.
Yeah.
I could say our facial start at X. Are you interested in booking? And then I can click the next, and it just sends at your own pace. You're at the steering wheel. You're not relying on awkward. Oh, it hasn't sent yet. And then if they want to like, they're like, oh, what would that say? You can just hit the back button.
Nice. And you were saying like a lot of times when they're in the driver's seat, they're trying to break the bot and say awkward things and like they're not listening to you. They're just like typing on their phone, right?
So many times, and they're not paying attention, and they're trying to break the bot. Like ask it in dumb questions, like, oh, can you make me a sandwich? Like, uh, so that that's like live chat. And then you have at any time you'd be like, oh yeah, we also have missed call text back, and you can explain how missed call text back. You have the actual visual here where you could say like, yeah, imagine your office is closed, and then it just goes to voicemail. uh, I think the go to I go to as well is like a real world scenario. I had we live in the woods, and a tree
Yeah.
fell, and my wife's like, you need to call someone and get out here to cut that tree down. I just went to Google, and I just Googled Indianapolis tree trimming, and I just called the first person, and then they didn't answer. I just went to the second person, they didn't answer, and all these like tree trimmers are up trees with a chainsaw in their hand, so they can't answer. So imagine like they missed the call, they can actually have the bot text them back or the prospect
Yeah.
back. So it stops that person from calling their competitor, which is the next in line on Google. And then, so that's kind of my pitch when I
Yeah,
talk.
that's great. That's even if you're not selling AI after the missed call text back, just like not having to verbally explain that is a massive help
Yeah,
because people will like conceptually get it, but not really at the same time.
yeah. So that's yeah, missed call text back, and then just showing how. In this case, this is for a med spa. Most of the
Hmm.
time, I feel like they were using the third party booking app like Aesthetic Record. So in this one, I just did, or I just did a booking link
Nice.
instead
Smart.
of conversational AI.
Yeah.
Then Google My Business. This is going away in July. I don't know if you heard that or not. I think in July.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So bummer there, but still kind of cool. We could show how it works. I'm sure Google will come out with something else,
Yeah.
but that's Google My Business. And then Facebook ads. We were talking earlier. It's hard to show that. So like I have a full time uh, person on my team that runs Facebook ads. So this was like perfect for selling bots. So uh, anyone listening, Facebook Messenger ads are like way cheaper than traditional ads that go to like a landing page.
Mm.
And over here on the left, you can like the user can read about it too. But
And you could
uh,
even could you like put this on your website or send this to people when they request info and you're not ready to get on a call yet?
you can't put it on your website, but what you could do is like record, like say if you had sales prezi,
Yeah.
you can record like a 2 minute demo. Like I sent
Nice.
you one, just like, hey, yeah, just check this out. This is how it works. You could do that if you didn't, uh, if
Smart.
you weren't ready. But you
Yeah.
don't. I wouldn't recommend sending this to someone because then you're losing out on explaining how stuff works.
Got it.
Uh,
So we got Facebook ads. What else? What are the last three on there?
Instagram ads, same thing. It's just hard. It was hard to show how the Instagram ads work.
Yeah.
Um, and also, this any bot builders out there, this is if you're ever setting up an ad for Instagram. This is like essentially like a trigger word or trigger phrase.
Hmm.
Once you hit send, this is what triggers the bot to kick in with this phrase. So
Nice.
you're able to show that, and then see how I included that. Remember that travel set that I was telling you about? I made like
Nice.
extra
Yeah.
20. I just included it in this. And by the way, all these businesses, like when you get a Sales Prezi subscription, you get access to all these niches. There's a 9 right now, but we're probably gonna have like, I don't know, probably 20 in the next couple of weeks. But all these
Very
businesses
cool.
are made up, so you don't have to worry about, these aren't even real examples.
Nice. Yeah, that's the other thing is like worrying about HIPAA or sharing private information if you're like trying to demo a current client's bot.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. Then we're talking about that comments growth tool. This is another cool thing that I came up with. Like, so this looks like the Instagram feed.
Hmm.
Oh, and by the way, anytime you're on a sales call, if you forget where to click, it'll highlight where you need to click. So I'm gonna click here.
Oh, sweet.
Again, like hit. This is just example, but enter to win a $500 gift card. Comment giveaway. So we're gonna comment giveaway. See, Ava's already commented giveaway, so do the same thing. And all I'm doing is just clicking here. So see how it's not doing anything right now? I'm just talking through how it works. And you're not
Nice.
at the mercy of, like, I used to use GIFs,
Hmm.
and then I ran into like, oh, they'd be like, what'd that say? I'm like, oh, hang on, the GIF will replay, and
Yeah.
so it replies back to the DMs, then it sends or replies back to the comment, sends the DM, and then kind of walks them through
Beautiful.
how it works. And then, of course, after I did all this, people will still want, well, that's all cool, but can I try can I try it live? I was like, sure, back to square one. But I solved that too. Um,
So
so
cool.
yeah, so the average response time on like the bots and SMS and Facebook is like, I don't know, around 15, 30 seconds, even longer sometimes. This out. Can So I purposely spelled all that wrong, but the response time on this is about 3 seconds. See that?
Nice.
So again, you're at the wheel. You're not like handing the freaking keys over and having them ask dumb questions and them
Yeah.
break the bot while you're trying to sell them.
Very cool. And what are let's say I have a niche that's not on here. Can I build a custom one?
You can request, like, say if it's like a niche that we don't have, you can
Yeah.
request it, and then if we get it, like right now, we're like building them out as we get, and I'm like, oh, like the biggest one of people's requests is like mortgage officers, and
Nice.
um, so we're building them out. It just takes like about a week to build one out because we got to build it. All this stuff's manual,
Yeah.
uh, but and then we do have a custom one. So say if you have a particular use or scenario that you feel like it's like your own, then we could do your own sales prezi. It's all these will
Love
be
it.
all your own uh, versions and stuff like that. And you can
Nice.
white label the domain name, which doesn't really matter too much because, like, probably not going to see it, but it is like your brand colors and the logo, and it just makes it like a nice touch. Everyone likes white labeled stuff.
Very cool. There'll be a link below this video for Sales Prezi, and since it's my link, you can also get my high level bonuses if you sign up with that link. So, Jeff, thanks so much for coming on board today. If people have more questions or they want to find you, what's the best way to reach out?
Yeah, you can just go to Facebook. You can find me on Facebook. It's Jeff Vanasdal. My last name is Dutch. It's kind of hard to spell and pronounce. Or on like salesprezi.com.
Great.
I'm usually on Facebook all day. So if you have any questions, just hit me up anytime. Love to help out.
Love it. Thanks, Jeff.
Cool. Thanks, Keaton. Appreciate it.
Thanks.